And we are live. Welcome back for another stream. How are you all this morning? Hope you're all well. Hope you're all doing very well. Looking forward to another double game week. Obviously, game week 26 behind us. One of the worst game weeks ever for many wildcarders, myself included. But it's behind us. We're looking forward, looking ahead to another double game week. So thank you for joining me for this deadline stream. Hope you're all well. Danny, Mark, Adam, Soka, Bill, Kieran, FPL Bobbins, Nishal, YT Alpa, Oscar Kelly, Harshit, John, and everyone else who's here for the deadline. Welcome. How are we all doing this morning? How is your ranks looking, everyone? Let me know in the chat. What are your live ranks right now? Mine just seems to get worse and worse. I can't do anything right. Hopefully you guys are ranked better than me. I seem to be getting nice comments on my videos saying, you know, I had one this morning, for example. Someone said they loved the series. It was the experts one, and they said they're 15k thanks to the series. So comments like that are what really matter to me, to be honest with you. I think there was a good tweet about it the other day, actually. Lucy Hylett, she was saying people need to sound out advice rather than rank, which I do agree with. I think it's the advice that is what matters. But yeah, horrible game week for me last week. I'm not hiding away from it. Good to see lots of good ranks in the chat, though. Espen's 80k, Eddie's 54k. Sam 900k, Melvin 80k, the Broken Machine 44k. So yeah, good to see you guys doing fairly well. Many doing better than me. Scourge Man's been in free fall, myself included, to be honest with you. But my bench boost is active, so that's exciting. I'm sticking to the plan. Bench boost is active. It was what I intended to do last week when I wildcarded. Obviously, another annoying consequence of the wildcard, a hangover from the wildcard, is that I've got Sanchez, who's not even going to play, he's lost his spot. The week I wildcarded him in, so I'm going to have to sell Sanchez during this stream. Probably going to sell him for Steele, the very player who replaced him in goals. So I think Sanchez will leave, Steele will come in, and I'll stick to the bench boost. I'm good, thanks, Luke. I saw a few messages in the chat saying happy birthday, Teddy, as well. Teddy's, he was on my lap a minute ago before I went live, but when I was setting up, he dipped, and now he's gone back to bed. But yeah, happy 3rd birthday to Teddy yesterday. Ayush says I want to be more like Focal. I want to be more like Ayush, to be honest with you. Thanks for the super chat, Allo Black 88. He says play 1, bench 1, Pope versus Wolves or Kepa versus Leicester. I would start Pope, bench Kepa. John says why not bench boost in Gameweek 29? I have a feeling I'm going to be asked this a lot on this stream, and I'll talk through the pros and cons of it, right? So the pro is that Gameweek 27 is right now, and we kind of know the landscape. We know what's going on. We know who's available, who's not. Gameweek 29 is 3 weeks away, and it's after an international break. So a lot can happen over the space of 3 weeks. I mean, look at my team, for example. In the space of 1 week, Sanchez has lost his spot. A lot can happen in 3 weeks. Remember, like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, Mahrez was essential. And Ketty had the best underlying numbers and all that. So yeah, bench boost 29 is better if everything goes perfectly to plan. If Tony gets 2 yellow cards, then he's suspended for 2 matches. You know, there's stuff like that at play. Maybe he gets a ban for the betting scandal. Maybe he doesn't. So I'm just going to stick to the plan, play it safe and bench boost. But I am on Captain March, which is a little bit punty, but I do think he's the best of the Brighton mids this week. Always look forward to the stream so we can see Focal's beautiful face. Thanks, Randomers. Appreciate that. Odegaard will not play today. I don't know if that's true. What I will say, he was out in the Europa League of illness. I think I've got this is it from Ben Dinnery. Kieran Tierney and Odegaard missed the 2-2 draw with Sporting in the Europa League. That was on Thursday with illness. So the press conference was yesterday, and I think it's embargoed, so we actually don't know what Arteta said in terms of Odegaard's availability. He might be fine, I don't know. I don't think anything has been released yet. It's still embargoed for the journalists to report on what's going on. I think it's embargoed till today, so maybe we'll get something during this stream, but yeah, he did miss it with illness, which is a bit concerning. FPL Zaha's on Solly March captain as well. Who are you guys captaining this week? I imagine we're in the minority, those of us that are on Captain March. FPL fella in the chat, he says, congratulations on making the Team South lineup. Thanks, fella. Appreciate that, mate. Yeah, I was buzzing about that. The trials went really well. Picked up a couple of assists, which was good. And obviously when the Gaffer game launches in a few weeks, then I'll be in the fantasy game. I don't know what I'll be priced at yet, but I'll be in the game. So I'm definitely going to have myself, and I'm definitely going to captain myself. If anyone doesn't know what that is, it's a thing called North East South, and it's a charity football match at the end of the season. Gameweek 39 it's called. It's literally a week after Gameweek 38, and it's like loads of people in the FPL community involved. Like FPL Harry is playing for Team South as well. So loads of big names getting involved. Raptor got involved last year, so there'll be an FPL game or a fantasy game for that as well. A lot of Tony captainers. Yeah, I can't argue with Tony captain. Makes a lot of sense. Reese says, hi Focal, we're all here. Please don't forget the weather conditions in Leeds. I actually had a quick look before we went live at the forecast, and it looks absolutely fine to me. I don't think there's going to be any games postponed or anything like that. I searched Leeds forecast. Can you see that? There. I mean, look at the forecast for today. Doesn't look bad at all. What time's that us tonight? 4 degrees. I'll be incredibly surprised if any games are off. I don't think that's going to happen. John says Oscar poll recaptain. All right, we'll do an early captain poll. Who are the? You only get 3 options. That's the problem, and I think there's quite a few this week. Who's your captain? Tony, right? Matoma. I suppose McAllister will be more popular than March after last week. Other. Alright, early captain poll. Get your votes in. John loves a poll, so that one's for John. Let us know who your captain is. Del Boy says, alright Oscar, start Watkins or Gabriel. I would start Watkins. I would favour the forward. Are Aston Villa against West Ham? Is that right? Yeah. I mean, West Ham 4-0 loss last week as well. I'd go Watkins there. Captain me. March. Got a few March captainers. Interesting. I thought he would be much less captain. I thought he'd be quite overlooked after the blank last week. And obviously FPL is all about recency bias. You know, one blank when his teammates haul and suddenly he's third best option. But I think he's the best of the three Brighton mids, personally. I've got some data on this actually. Let's talk about it quickly. This is the last 6 game weeks. This is from my Scout members tables, and over the last 6 game weeks, McAllister has better expected goal involvement, but he has taken a penalty. So I think probably the best duo is McAllister and March in terms of underlying numbers, but obviously underlying numbers aren't everything. Matoma is such a dangerous player. But yeah, March has actually got best non-penalty expecting goal involvement over the last 6 game weeks between the three. And you might have seen this other stat in my videos this week, but since the restart, in terms of chances conceded down March's side, Palace are worst and Leeds are 4th worst. So I'll take encouragement from that as well. So that's why I've gone for March captain, and I think he's going to be completely overlooked just because his teammates did well last week and he didn't. Captain Welbeck. Is Welbeck going to start both? I imagine Ferguson has a good chance of starting. I don't know if Welbeck starts or not, to be honest. Right, the early captain poll results. 53% on Tony, 25% on Matoma, 8% McAllister, 14% on other. Yeah, there's a lot of options this week, which is nice. I like it when it's like that. I don't know about you guys, but when it's just like Haaland, I find that almost boring, because you just have to go with the default pick, which is Haaland. And the good news is that's not the case for the next 3 game weeks. We've got a double now. Haaland blanks in 28, and he's got a single in 29. So for the next 3 game weeks, there's definitely more ground, more rank swings to be had, because Haaland's not really a sensible pick for any of the next 3 game weeks. There will still be people on Haaland captain, but it doesn't make sense this week. This week you have to go for a Brighton mid or Tony, or maybe a defender, but you have to go for a double game week player. Matoma hauling coming. I mean, hopefully they all haul. I've seen some wildcards with all 3 Brighton mids, which could absolutely fly, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'm captain in March. March captain. Kane captain. I don't think many will go Kane, but it's a good fixture. Home to Forest. Start Ødegaard or Martinelli. I probably would just start Martinelli, to be honest with you. He might even play up top, because Nketiah might still be out, so I'm not sure about Trossard. I think he's flagged. Might see Martinelli up top. And obviously Ødegaard's a doubt with illness, so I'd start Martinelli. Do a quick news roundup. Not too much to cover this week, but Phil Foden is apparently okay for the Palace game this weekend, says Guardiola. So again, maybe there's a chance that Mahrez gets benched again, maybe not this time. Chelsea news, Reece James is out for Gameweek 27 with illness. Hamstring. Sterling had doubts because he's got a hamstring injury, and Aubameyang's back. Kante aiming for a return in Gameweek 28. Brighton news, De Zerbi was asked about the goalkeeper situation, and he said, one of the best relationships I have in the dressing room is with Rob Sanchez. At this moment, I prefer Jason still, but only for our style. Robert can improve in this part. I have been clear and honest. So yeah, that's why I'm going to make the switch to Steele and stick to the plan and bench boost. Arsenal news, no Tierney, Trossard or Nketiah, all absent from training. So this is what I was saying just now. It might be Martinelli up top, potentially. We'll have to see. If Trossard's out as well, maybe Smith Rowe down the left. And obviously, as we said earlier, Tierney and Ødegaard missed the Europa League game. Ødegaard missed it with illness, so we don't know what the latest is on Ødegaard. I think the press conference is embargoed, so we don't know if he's back or not, basically. Akil says, am I crazy to captain Salah and start Ødegaard? It's not crazy, absolutely not crazy. Remember in the reverse fixture, it finished 9-0 to Liverpool. We're not going to see that again. We're not going to see another 9-0, but it could be a comfortable win. I wouldn't be at all surprised if it ends 4-0. You know, it could be more pain for the wildcarders, I hate to say. But this week, you'd like to think the double game week players will make up for it. So that's not crazy. I think there's better options, though. I think the Brighton mids, Tony, are all better than Salah, but I don't hate it. Starting Ødegaard's fine. You know, he might have recovered from illness. We just don't know. That's the problem. Master says, bench 2 of Trippier, Trent, Estepinian, Pinnock, Henry. Oh, that's horrendous. You have to start Estepinian. I'd start... That's awful. You wouldn't want to bench Trippier or Trent, really, would you? I'd almost be inclined to bench one of the Brentford assets just to spread your risk and start Trippier. Because I do think this is a really good looking fixture for Trippier. I'd almost be inclined to start Estepinian, Henry and Trippier. But if I had the bench boost, I'd be tempted to use it on that. And bench Trent and Pinnock. But yeah, whichever way you go there, I think you're going to end up benching points. Anyway, we've got 1,700 tuned in already, so if you're enjoying the stream so far, hit like on it, subscribe to the channel. I've got a little sub counter here on screen, actually. Everyone hit subscribe. Let's see if how much this goes up. Let's see if this hits 500. Appreciate you all being here for this deadline stream. So yeah, if you are, and enjoy the graphics and other bits and bobs I prepare for these. Someone just did, 485. Morning, Shen, how you doing? Shen, it might have been your comment, actually. I was talking about you just at the start of the stream. I said, I was talking about how bad my rank is, but what matters is how you guys are doing and your seasons. And I think it was you that said you're thankful for the expert series and your 15k. Is that right? Was it you? But yeah, that's what matters the most. 494, here we go. 495. It's exciting, isn't it? This is where it goes back down to like 400. Oh no, what have I done? It's going down. This has had the reverse intended effect. Shall I take it off screen before it gets any worse? Oh, it's an ongoing battle now. The subscribers versus the unsubscribers. All right, no, it did average out going upwards, but obviously some people didn't like that. So sorry if you didn't like that. Henry or me? I prefer Henry. That's why I grabbed him on the wild card. He's got the slightly better expected goal involvement over the season, but there's not much between them. There's not much between them. If I had to pick one to start, I'd start me. Sorry. Leeds Brighton, high risk of postponing. Is that true? I don't know if that's true. We looked at the forecast just now. You did like it. You're trolling me. Start Ødegaard or Trippier. Trippier. Badiashile or Saliba to start. Saliba. I don't think I'd sell Ødegaard from -4. No, I wouldn't do that. You'll want him in Gameweek 28, home to Palace in the blank game week. Thoughts on Lineker, Oscar? I haven't been following the situation too closely. My understanding is he made some remarks on the government policy, reasonable remarks, but I think the BBC shut it down and they took him off air, right? Which I do think is nonsense, to be honest with you, and I think it's respectable that his co-hosts also stood down with him, and commentators, I believe. So I don't know what's going to happen on tonight's match of the day. If there's no pundits, no commentary, is it just going to be clips, like a highlight reel? Don't know. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with being able to voice his opinion. He should be able to do that, so yeah, I agree with those that supported him with that. Sam Margo says, bench boost with Kepa, Ødegaard, Zinchenko and Botman. No, I wouldn't do it. They've all got a single game week, and Ødegaard missed the Europa League with illness, so I wouldn't do it. I would just bench boost 29. Ødegaard and Shaw to Maddison and Botman, or just roll? No, I think I'd roll. I think I'd just roll. If you've got one transfer, I'd roll. I mean, if you've got 2 transfers, I don't think I'd do that either. You know, Shaw, there's every chance share plays, not Shaw, share. No, I'd leave it. Not required. Ferguson captain, asks Connor. Don't know if I'd go that far. Ferguson captain. I think the Brighton mids and Tony are better captains than Ferguson, but... And also, you know, there's the Welbeck threat. Maybe Welbeck starts one. Maybe he comes on, you know, the last half an hour, so he gets limited minutes. I don't think I'd captain Ferguson if I had him. McAllister captain, I think, is absolutely fine, yeah. No, I wasn't on the beers last night. Do I look like it? I'll be honest, I'm not a morning person at all. I tend to be more productive at night time, so that's why I think on these deadline streams I sometimes look hungover. Like people say, "Oh, Oscar, you look awful." It's like, oh, what can I do? I don't know. Why don't I have McAllister? Last week, before he got the haul, I thought that Matoma and March were the best 2. Maybe that's still the case. Maybe not now. But that was what I thought last week. It's not worth a transfer. Who is Brighton's keeper? It's Steele's the keeper. Jason Steele. It was Sanchez till last week, so I'm going to have to sell Sanchez and Steele will come in. And I'm sticking to the plan, bench boost him. We've got the scout selection for Gameweek 27, which is as follows. They've got Bazunu in goal. Let me know in the chat what you think of the team, by the way. Trippier, me, and Estepinian back 3. Salah, Rashford, Matoma captain, McAllister, and a front 3 of Haaland, Kane, and Tony vice captain. What do you think? I'm surprised by the Bazunu pick. He has been terrible this season, which is a shame. But yeah, maybe he's not ready for that step up yet. Still a very young keeper. Yeah, Omar says I don't understand Bazunu at all. I don't either. They've got double Brentford, so they could have just gone Raya. I mean, other than that, it's a good team, but I don't understand double Brentford, rather than just going Raya over Bazunu. Maybe they're trying to be a bit clever or something. Like, he's definitely going to rack up save points, but don't know if he keeps a clean sheet in either of those 2. Perisic or Castagna to start? I would start Perisic. There is a chance he's benched, but he's got the much better fixture. Money problem, maybe? Maybe, but even then, you'd go like Raya and Henry, wouldn't you? You can afford that over Bazunu and me. But yeah, anyway. It's not a bad team, I just don't agree with the Bazunu pick. I think Southampton have a surprisingly good expected goals conceded. Is that true? I'll be honest, I haven't looked at their data since Sellers took charge, so maybe they've improved in that respect. Maybe that's behind the thinking, but like if I was on a free hit, which some people are, I wouldn't have Bazunu. Eskispersky, thanks for the super chat. He says Estepinian for Tarkowski or March for Andreas. March for Andreas, I would say, between those 2. He's got far more upside than Estepinian, I would say. So I would go with March, yeah. Which transfer am I making? I'm going Sanchez to Steele. Probably the most boring transfer in FPL history. Sanchez out, Steele in. But that's my plan. Because I want to bench boost. That was almost my plan, and I want to stick to it now. I'd be fuming if I just abandoned the plan now, went to bench boost 29, and 29 ends up doing worse than what these 4 players on my bench do. So I'm going to stick to the plan. I think bench boost 27 is absolutely viable. It's team dependent, but that was always my plan when I wildcarded last week, so I'm sticking to the plan. Thanks for the super chat, Fraser Nash. Zinchenko or Davies? Zinchenko. Martinelli or Salah to start? Salah. Trippier or Zinchenko? Trippier. Got an idea for a poll. Coming your way. Right. 2, 3. Let me think about the numbers to ask. I think that should do it. How many double Gameweek players have you got? 2 to 3, 4 to 5, or 6 or more? 6 or more. You guys love a poll? Alright. We'll keep the poll ideas coming and we can do more polls. Will's got 3 double Gameweek players. It's very even actually on the poll. That's interesting. Berylligum's got 1. Should I triple captain Tony? If I still had the triple captain, I wouldn't be using it this week. I would probably save it for Gameweek 34 or Gameweek 37 because that's going to be both will be double game weeks, and Haaland probably has a double in one or both. So I would save it and use it on Haaland most likely, or you could use it on Rashford in 29. But I don't think I'd use it on Tony this week. I think there's better options. Where's the poll? Poll should be in the chat, or it might be at the top of your chat. Right, how many double Gameweek players have you got? 21% 2 to 3, 36% 4 to 5, and 43% 6 or more. Interesting. So chat is loaded up on the double Gameweek assets. I'm on 6. I mean, if you've got 7, then that means you have a Southampton or a Palace player, really. So I don't think there's many that have got 7 or 8. I did see some wildcards on my timeline this morning that had 8. Might be a bit too all in, to be honest. Maybe it's like Zaha and Ward-Prowse do well, something like that. But that's about it. Those are the only 2 I'd consider. Interesting a few weeks ahead though. We've got this double now. Gameweek 28 is going to be difficult with quite a few blanks, and then we've got the big double in 29. As it stands, I've got 10 players in 28, so I'm not too bad. But I'm probably going to sell Haaland in 28. I'm not sure who for yet. Probably Iheanacho or Watkins. What about you guys? How many players can you field in 28? That is something we have to be careful of this week. You don't want to be selling someone like Saka or Ødegaard. I know Ødegaard missed the Europa League with illness, but if you sell one of those for someone like March and Matoma, you gain a fixture this week and then you lose it next. So I think you have to be careful with those kind of transfers. But Brentford players, you know, if you're not on a wild card or anything like that, if you just got free transfers, then Brentford players really are the sensible transfers this week because they play in 28. They've got double either side in 27 and 29. So I've seen people doing Haaland to Tony, which I do understand. Haaland's got 2 games in his next 3 game weeks. Tony's got 5. So realistically, who scores more points? Tony in 5 or Haaland in 2? Famous last words. This is where Haaland outscores Tony against Palace and Liverpool versus Tony's 5 games. But yeah, I mean, it's logical. I can understand it. People that are selling Haaland for Tony. Do a poll who likes polls. Play Shaw or Trippier? Trippier. Fraser says bench boost with Kepa, Gabriel, Zinchenko and Maddison. I think when you've got those 4, which I think a lot of people do, targeting the bench boost 29, I think you just bench boost 29. Because Kepa doubles in 29, Maddison doubles in 29, but they don't double now. So therefore, I would bench boost 29. I wouldn't use it now. And you've got Kepa and Maddison facing one another as well, so I don't think this is the week if you've got that bench. Quite a few questions about X or Y defender though, so I'm going to pull up the clean sheet odds to help you answer that. For the double Gameweek teams, the odds are combined. I've just calculated what the odds would be for their chances of keeping one clean sheet for Brighton, Brentford, Southampton and Palace. So if you've got like an X or Y decision in terms of who to start, then have a look at this. But obviously bear in mind the potential attacking threat. So for example, if it was Botman versus Zinchenko, Newcastle have got 47% chance. Arsenal's slightly worse, but I'd start Zinchenko because he offers the attacking threat. If it was Saliba or Botman, then that's closer and I'd favour Botman. What am I doing in Gameweek 29? I'll probably do, reluctantly, Saka to Fernandes. That'll probably be my move in 29 because Man United have got a good double game week, good fixtures after. They're likely to double in 34 and 37, so I want to have the Rashford and Bruno double up again. That's where I'm at. What's the first game of today? I actually haven't even looked at the fixtures. What's the first match? Haaland to Kane. It's a little bit sideways this week, but yeah, I don't mind it. Maybe Haaland gets limited minutes because, you know, he's got the Champions League next week against RB Leipzig, 1-1 in aggregate. That would be really, really bad if City dropped out against Leipzig. So yeah, maybe Pep prioritises that to a degree. So yeah, I don't hate it. I don't hate Haaland to Kane this week. It's probably a minor upgrade, I would say. Minor upgrade. Sanchez definitely won't start for Brighton. I don't think so. Based on De Zerbi's comments, I don't think so. He said this. He said, I've got one of the best relationships in the dressing room with Rob Sanchez, but at this moment I prefer Jason, but only for our style. Robert can improve on this part. I have been clear and honest. So right now, I would say it's Steele's spot to lose. So that's going to be my transfer. In a minute I'm going to do Sanchez to Steele before the deadline, and I'm going to bench boost that as well. Jason Steele plays for Leeds. Does he? It's not true. Plays for Brighton. Andrea says, do you think there'll be any more news or should I do my transfers now? I don't think there'll be any more news. What was the first fixture of this game week though? Oh, Bournemouth-Liverpool. Yeah, I mean, we might get the Liverpool lineup, but it doesn't really affect anyone. But yeah, I'll keep an eye out for that. We might actually get a leak during the stream on the Liverpool lineup, potentially. If we do get anything, I'll let you know. But I think a lot of you don't own Liverpool players right now, right? Anyone in chat still got Salah or Trent or Darwin or Gakpo? Or did you sell them? Last game it was just unbelievable. I still can't believe what happened. The wildcard just made so much sense. It was team dependent. It made sense for me because I had players like Nketiah injured. I had like Almiron and Trippier versus City. And really the only thing that could have made the wildcard bad was some kind of massive upset. And yeah, I just never foresaw Liverpool bashing Man United. Man United in form as well. Liverpool, you know, they've been in and out of form this season, not doing particularly well overall. Never saw it coming, and that, yeah, it's just absolutely brutal. But that's FPL. If I still don't get a green arrow this week, I'm deleting my team and channel. Williams captain Salah, fair play. I don't mind that at all. Andrew says voice is so iconic, like Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman, the Morgan Freeman of FPL. Kieran Conroy says -4 in Matoma to start over Salah, Saka, Rashford or Darwin. Nah, not for a -4. Definitely not. You want to start all of those, really. No, I would leave it. It's not worth selling any of those. Salah's got Bournemouth. Saka plays in 28. Rashford you want long term. Darwin, he's got Bournemouth as well. I wouldn't do it. Morgan Focal. Focal Freeman. Right, get your guesses in the chat. Who's going to be the top scorer of Gameweek 27? It was Salah last week. 21 points he got in Gameweek 26. Get your guesses in. I think a few did get it last week, but not many. So get your guesses in. Who's going to be the top scorer of Gameweek 27? Tony, Haaland, Martinelli, Tony, Ward-Prowse, McAllister, Phil Jones, Weghorst, Big Mac, Solly March. Oh, please, if it's Solly March, I'm not going to be able to contain myself next week on the next week's deadline stream. Top scorer will be Focal Freeman, Estepinian, Salah again. I swear, if it's Salah again, I'm done. If it's Salah back to back, we've not had a single back to back this season. If it's Salah again. Jack Roberts says, which three of Saka, Nunez, Rashford and Kane this week? Rashford I'd start. Kane I'd start. So it's between Saka and Nunez. That's tough. I think Nunez, just about. Lineker top scorer. Yeah, I don't know. Saka looked leggy in the Europa League. And I'm missing a few players. Nketiah, Trossard, maybe Ødegaard. I'd probably start Darwin. Bench Saka. But it's going to be one of those weeks. If you're not on a bench boost, which pretty much everyone's not, it's going to be one of those weeks where there's going to be bench pain. It's inevitable. You just got to take it in your stride and expect to make up more points in 29. Those of you that are planning to bench boost 29. Also, can you say... That was the year I met Andy Dufresne. Any City defenders? No, it's not worth it. There's just no City defenders that look worth it. Arguably, Edison's not even been worth it either. I had Edison for a while and he was just awful. He did very, very little for me and my team. Despite such good underlying numbers. But he's massively underperformed his XGC. In fact, I think over the season, he's negative for expected goals prevented. Dylan says, Haaland to Tony, it's killing me, what to do? Yeah, I don't mind Haaland to Tony at all. I don't mind it at all. It makes sense. Obviously, it's risky, like, it's Haaland, and we know what he's capable of, but as I said earlier, who scores more, Tony in 5 fixtures or Haaland in 2? In my opinion, Tony outscores Haaland with 3 extra fixtures, so that's what you get over the next 3 game weeks, unless Tony gets banned in 29. So I would do it. It is an understandable move, unless you've got any other strikers that are better to sell, but I can understand it. Captain poll, please. Alright, we'll do another captain poll. See how you guys are shaping up for captaincy this week. Who's your captain? I'm going to mix up the order just to see if it was based on the order or not. We'll go like that. And then we'll go you down here. And then you at the bottom. I've mixed the order up to see, maybe I influenced it by the order I put it in, maybe not. Get your votes in. Who's your captain for Gameweek 27? Martinelli or Saka? Saka. I need a good week. You and me both. Start Zinchenko, Trippier or Davies? Trippier. Gakpo, king of Gameweek 27. You heard it here first. According to Rocket anyway. A few Salah captainers, a few March captainers. Yeah, I didn't think about that. We might actually get the Liverpool lineup leaked on the deadline stream, but I don't know how relevant that's going to be. I think it's going to be pretty much as expected, but maybe there's a few people in chat. And maybe Klopp feels he can rotate a little bit, maybe not. Is the Real Madrid game next week, second leg? I mean, they're out. They're basically out, aren't they? Wasn't it 5-2? It's on Wednesday. Maybe Klopp looks at this fixture and thinks, I can afford to rotate a few players. Stick Milner in right back for Trent. With one eye on the Champions League. Maybe not. Slow mode off. I think chat moves too fast when slow mode's off though. It's not. It's only set to like 20 seconds, I think. It's not that high. Kavaz says, thanks for the content. You're making every deadline even more fun. Bench Trippier, Robertson or Shaw. I like all their fixtures. First of all, thank you for that. Appreciate that. Trippier, Robertson or Shaw. Yeah, they've all got good fixtures. I totally agree. Trippier, you definitely start. So it's between Robertson and Shaw. I think I would start Shaw. Maybe Klopp starts Tsimikas with an eye on the Champions League. Maybe. So probably Trippier and Shaw bench Robertson. That's what I would do. And Shaw is playing at home, to be fair. How many in the stream? We've got 1,647. Good turnout today. Hope you have all enjoyed the stream so far. We still got 50 odd minutes. If you have enjoyed it so far, hit like on the stream. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and all those good things. I do these streams every week, and obviously I make FPL content videos. Mikhail, thanks for the 11 months. He says 11 months, March as captain off. I'm sticking with it, to be honest with you. I've got nothing to lose at this point. You're looking at a man who's got nothing to lose. I'm gonna have some fun with my captains the next few weeks, basically. So I'm sticking with March. I talked a bit about it earlier. Over the last 6 game weeks, his underlying numbers are better than Mitoma's. Obviously, he's a poor finisher, so that's at play as well. Whereas Mitoma's more clinical. He's been overperforming his stats, whereas March hasn't. But McAllister's only ahead because of his penalty. March is actually top of the 3 Brighton mids for non-penalty expected goal involvement over the last 6 game weeks. And the other stat I had on screen earlier was this one. Since the restart, in terms of chances conceded, Palace have conceded the most down their left flank, and Leeds have conceded 4th most with 44, which is March's side. So that's also encouraging to me. So I'm just going to go for March. I think he's going to be completely overlooked. Just because he blanked last week, I think he's going to be completely overlooked. People are going to be on Tony, Mitoma, but I think he's arguably the best of the 3 Brighton mids. Maybe on par, to be honest with you, but you know, when it's on par and you're chasing upside, then you go for the lower owned player. But I mean, look at some of the returns since the restart: 10, 19, 11, 13. It's wishful thinking to expect another one of those, but I mean, what's his ownership? 9%. Mitoma's 21%. So that's where I'm at with it. But where are you guys at? 50% are on Tony, 27% are on Mitoma, 7% McAllister, and 16% other. Interesting. I'm not surprised Tony's top. I think Tony's a very, very good option. You'll give me 1k if I buy Phil Jones. No deal. I wouldn't buy Phil Jones even for £1,000 right now. It'd completely derail my bench boost. Can we raid Nim's stream later? Yeah, definitely. Is she live? Where is she? She's not live. Or is she live somewhere else? She's not live on YouTube. Chad says, easily my favourite FPL content creator. Concise and entertaining videos. Lots of love from down under, mate. Thanks, Chad. Appreciate that. Shout out to all the people down under. To all the Aussie friends, New Zealand. Where are you guys from in chat? Let me know in the chat. Where are you from? Where are you tuned in from today? Is March playing? I assume so. De Zerbi said that he's in the squad, so I think all good there. UK, Estonia, Slovakia, Croatia, Aussie. Quite a few Aussies in the chat. Sweden, Netherlands, Syria, Kuwait. More Aussies. More and more Aussies. Finland, Malaysia, Sweden. Lots of Scandinavians as well. Scandinavians famously very good at FPL. Norway, Poland, Singapore, Ireland, Macedonia, South Africa, Egypt, Stevenage. All these countries, and then there's just Andrew from Stevenage. Bahrain, Kenya, Malaysia, Wrexham, Algeria, more Aussies, Morocco. I mean, it's perfect for the Aussies. It's like late afternoon there, right? You just rock up to a deadline stream, have a beer. Our games at like 3 o'clock are like your night time. I saw that, Aish. I'm not reading that. Jamaica, Botswana, Wales. DJ Captain says, I'm going to captain March. So if this works out, it would be good. It would be very good if this works out. I mean, the points will come. I think the points will be a little bit spread among the 3 Brighton mids, which is the argument for going Tony. But I don't know. Brighton just looks so good, right now. I was watching the highlights last night from West Ham, and March was really unlucky not to get a return. He was really involved, to be honest with you. Very unlucky not to get anything. Kevin Conway says, leave a like. Thanks, Kevin. Who to captain? We'll put up the predicted points from FPL Review. These are the top projections for this game week, and then you can make your own decisions based on that. They've got Tony top, and basically nothing in it. They've got Mitoma 0.1 points behind, McAllister 0.2 behind, March 0.7 behind. So it's one of those weeks where there is nothing in it. So go with your gut. If you have a gut feeling about a player, maybe you don't, but if you do, then go with it. It's one of those weeks where captaincy is very spread. I don't think any of the double Gameweek players are going to be over 100% effective ownership. So they can't hurt your rank if you own them. But yeah, Tony, Mitoma, McAllister, March, the top 4. Those are the standouts in my opinion. Flandy in the chat says, just popping in, busy this morning, good luck on your bench boost and hi to Teddy. Thanks Flandy, thank you for the 11 months as well. Yeah, Teddy is around, he's gone back to bed. But we wished him happy birthday at the start of the stream. He turned 3 yesterday. Have I still got the Teddy? Where was it? Oh, there it is, there he is. Where do we put him? Just there, he's keeping an eye on the bench boost, making sure it comes in. There's a good boy. Thanks, Flandy. Thanks for the 11 months. If anyone's interested in supporting the channel, by the way, the join button below the stream or in the description, there's a link to become a member or patron. It supports the channel. It allows me to do this full time for you guys, and you do get some perks. You get a little badge by your name, as you can see in chat. You get early access to my videos. There's a private channel on Discord. So yeah, a few goodies that you get with that as well. So yeah, thank you to all the members, and thank you to you all for making this stream. Hope you're enjoying it so far. We've got just under 45 minutes till the deadline. I'm going to make my transfer in a minute. I'm going to go Sanchez to Still. I'm sticking with the bench boost. I'll keep an eye out in case of any leaks. Liverpool, probably the only team we might get one for. That's Teddy. That's what he looks like. That's him. He turned 3 yesterday. Oh yeah, there's a Teddy emoji. I forgot about that. Teddy, 20 points on the bench boost. Scenes if this bench gets 20. I'll be surprised. I'll be very happy with that. How many points? Actually, that's a good question. How many points would you guys expect realistically on a bench boost? How many would you be happy with? Like 15, 20, 25, 30? What's your minimum that you'd say, yeah, fine, I'll take that? 25? 12. 12 on the bench boost, that seems quite low. 10? Surely more than 10. 15, 20? Yeah, I think that's about right. More than 2 points each. Yeah, you'd like to get, like, say if Botman keeps a clean sheet, maybe Steele keeps 1 across his 2 games. So that's 12 points right there. So, yeah, I think 15, 20 points is about right. Yeah, I need a decent keeper. Good to see you in the chat, by the way, Focus. I'm going to sell Sanchez for Steele. Complete waste of a transfer. I can't believe how badly the wildcard went, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'm getting rid of Sanchez. Steele's coming in. Any fitness updates on March? De Zerbi said that he's in the squad. So, you know, I take that as promising news, so he should be fine. I'm happy enough to go Captain March. Sanchez was the ultimate trap. Yeah, I mean, he had played a bit dodgy recently. You know, some fans are saying he got a bit complacent. And De Zerbi said he's more suited to his style of play. He's a bit more composed with the ball at his feet, a bit better under pressure when being closed down. We saw that last week against West Ham, so yeah, it makes sense. I wonder who's going to start in the FA Cup now. Maybe Steele gets every game from now on. If there's any Brighton fans in the chat, let us know what you think happens. Maybe Steele is just #1 for the rest of the season now. Thanks, Kieran. Appreciate that. News on Ødegaard. The Arsenal press conference, annoyingly, is embargoed, so we don't know what was said on Ødegaard, unless anything's come out this morning and embargo's been lifted. He missed he missed the Europa League on Thursday, as you guys probably know. That's all we know. He missed the 2-2 draw against Sporting in the Europa League with illness. So we don't know if he's back from illness or not, basically. Yeah, Stream Beats. This song actually isn't Stream Beats. This is my cousin. He's on Spotify. But the rest is Stream Beats, yeah. Charlie, FPL Harry says he's not back in March as captain. Thoughts? Yeah, I think that's fine. If you're Harry's rank, you don't need to go crazy with captaincy on someone like March. I'm chasing the upside, completely upside this week. If I was Harry, I'd be on Tony or Mitoma. Hi Oscar, how have you been? I've been very good. Yeah, I'm doing well. Very well. It was a good week. The videos did well. Good views on the videos this week, so I was happy with that. So yeah, I'm well. How are you? Zaha. What about Zaha? Liverpool leaks. Nothing at the moment. I'll keep an eye out. Looking for a good differential to get ahead of the mini league. March is your answer. Big differential. March. Oh, I'm going to have a throat sweet again. My throat's going. It's going to be FPL ASMR stream again. Who should I get on the wildcard? McAllister or March? I still think March. There's a chance, at least from what I've read, according to Brighton fans, there's still a chance that McAllister drops deeper into the pivot. So I'll go March. I'm going to mute my mic for a sec to cough. Oh, excuse me. Still nursing a sore throat. Max on pens, yeah. That's no. I'm gonna sell Sanchez for Steele. I don't think March's injury is a problem, no. I don't think so. He missed the FA Cup game. I think it was last week. Played on the weekend. But no, I don't think it's anything to worry about. Oh dear, this isn't good. What type of sweet am I having? It's a Hull sweet. It's just a throat thing. I've had a bit of a sore throat recently. I went to an Arsenal game like a few weeks ago, and the guy who was sitting next to me was like noticeably unwell. You know when you're like at a football match, you're like, you can't do anything about it. You just stuck sat next to them. And this guy was not well, and he was like quite chatty as well. So I didn't want to be rude. Like, I was chatting to him as well. We're talking lots about Arsenal and so on. But he was like really like sick, and whatever he had, he gave to me. I don't think he should have been out. I don't think he should have been at the game. Hang on, give me a second. But I guess there's no laws on like COVID and that now. But would you say that's irresponsible if that guy's like extremely sick to go to an Arsenal game? I mean, whoever was sitting opposite side and in front definitely got it as well. But yeah, he gave it to me. I'm fine. Yeah, it's not against the law to go out with COVID now, but I think that's what he did. Yeah, I was at the Bournemouth game. I was also at the Brentford game. Brentford was disappointing. That was the one that had that massive VAR blunder. Lee Mason didn't spot that. Was it the offside? Yeah, the offside in the Brentford goal. And it cost him his job. But yeah, I was at Bournemouth as well. That was an incredible game. But I was at the game and I had two Arsenal defenders, Zinchenko and Gabriel. I literally sat down at my seat. I looked at my phone, looked up, and 8 seconds or whatever it was into the game, the ball was in the back of our net. So it's hard to put into words being at a game and watching your team concede and you lose 2 clean sheets 8 seconds into the game on FPL. But luckily we won, and it was an absolutely incredible game. One of the games of the season, so didn't mind. Zaha or Rashford for my wild card. Depends on the rest of your team. If I was on a wild card, you want to set up for Gameweek 28. So Rashford I would have over Zaha personally, but make sure you're set up for 28. That's the appeal with some of the players like Maddison, for example. He's got a fixture in 28 as well. Ward-Prowse you could have as a placeholder. He plays this week, plays next. And then sell him for Bruno in 29. Is Veltman a risk? He is a risk, yeah. I would just go for Dunk or Estepinian. Oscar, you should have a meet and greet in a pub in London with your followers sometime. I don't know if enough would turn up to that, to be honest with you. What would be better is... would you guys turn up to that? I think what would be better is to go to an FPL meets. They're every month and they're like organised by FPL Nima. They've got contacts at pubs. They rent out the upper floor. I go to those every few months. They're really fun. I think that'd be better. They're good fun. I recommend it. At FPL meets on Twitter. They organise them every month, not just in London, but all over the world. Even in England, there's ones up north and down south. They're really fun. Just like a way to watch the football, chat with like-minded people, get drunk. I went to my first one last year and didn't look back. Really, really good time. Sam says, I prefer your videos over all other FPL content creators. Always so clear and to the point. Thanks. Thank you, Sam. Appreciate that. Thanks for watching my stuff. FPL Meets is a really cool idea. It's really cool. Yeah, it was only last season that FPL Nima started up. And unsurprisingly, there's like a big appetite for that. As I say, you just meet up with people that are like-minded, into football, into FPL. Watch the football together. Just get drunk while you're doing it. Yeah, watching my stuff, my videos. Brighton game's still on. Yeah, as far as I'm aware, it's still on. I'll make my still transfer last minute, just in case there's any like last minute news. But we've got half an hour till the deadline, so I won't do it just yet. Oscar videos are one of the best. Love these deadline streams and all the tips. Thank you, iClark. You guys are too nice this morning. Appreciate that. Thank you. No Liverpool leaks, as far as I'm aware. We might get something closer to the deadline, but I think it's a bit too early. Doesn't kick off for 2 hours. Arnold Orsinchenko. Arnold. Trent. Rousey asks, why are you bench boosting this week and not Gameweek 29? It's for a few reasons, really. So, first of all, I will say, if everything goes perfectly, bench boost 29 is better than 27. But it's still like 3 weeks away. It's after an international break. A lot can happen over that amount of time. You know, maybe Tony gets a yellow card suspension. He's 2 yellows away. If he gets 2 before then, he misses 2 games. Maybe he gets his ban for the betting scandal. There's lots that could happen over the next few weeks. So I'm playing it safer and going with it now. Getting it out of the way, basically. But yeah, if it goes perfectly to plan for the bench boost 29 people, then 29 is better. Russell says he's got 3 Brentford, 2 Brighton, no free hit. Haaland to Ferguson or Martinelli to McAllister. Yeah, I'll do Martinelli to McAllister. I wouldn't sell Haaland for Ferguson. Ferguson's fine if you've got him, but he's a little bit risky. Maybe Welbeck starts the game, or maybe Ferguson comes off early, but McAllister's much more reliable pick on penalties. Martinelli to Mac. But how he set up for 28 Russell. This is the thing this week. If you're selling someone like Martinelli for McAllister, you gain a fixture this week, and then you lose it next week, so it's the same number of fixtures. So I would be careful with that this week, guys. You just gain a fixture this week. You're just bringing one fixture forward, and then next week you lose one. Tony triple captain. If I still had the triple captain, I would save it. The reason being, there's going to be more double game weeks later in the season. Arguably, even 29, Rashford's a better triple captain. But I've got a graphic here from Mikhail Tokvam, which basically projects the number of fixtures for the rest of the season. 2 means 2 fixtures, 1 means 1. As you can see in 34, it's going to be a double game week for Brighton. Man City are there. So Man City are almost certain to double in 34 and 37. So if I still had the triple captain, I would use it on Haaland in either of these 2 weeks, or Rashford in 29. That's what I would do. Right, we've got about 30 minutes till the deadline. Keep your questions coming in. Why is there no Estepinian? I went for the keeper instead, with a view to bench boost him and set myself up for the blank in 28. I've got a poll idea. How many players will you field in Gameweek 28? How many players can you field in Gameweek 28? Or will you? So after transfers, how many will you field? 8 or less, 9, 10 or 11. Be interesting to see how everyone's shaped up for 28. Blank game week, obviously. But really Gum says 28 is free hit for me. Yeah, I think it's going to be a popular free hit week. 28, we saw on that graphic just now, 28 and 32 are the two big blank game weeks coming, so those are the two standouts. Max says, how much worse would your bench have to be to save the bench boost? You've got Sanchez, Saliba, Martinelli and Botman. A little worse than yours, in my opinion. I think that bench is similar. Saliba and Gabriel equal, Botman and both Botman. Martinelli and Maddison equal. I would consider using it, personally. But you have to go Sanchez to still. You wouldn't do it and bench boost Sanchez. So the downside is you'd have to sell Sanchez this week. But I think your bench is equal to mine. So if that was my bench, I would bench boost it. But I think I'm in the minority with that thinking. Interestingly, Fabio Borges, the top all-time manager, or he was until this season, the number 1 all-time manager, arguably still is. He wildcarded the exact same team as me, or I did as him. And he's on the same line of thinking, bench boost this week. So, something to think about. How many players will you field in 28? 10% are on 8 or less. 18% are on 9. So 10 is currently the most popular. It's very close. 37% are fielding 10. 35%, so about a third, can field an 11 in 28. Dave said, who would you start between Chilwell and Gabriel? I would start Chilwell. Chase the upside. Potter's changed to a back 3 formation recently as well, with Chilwell and James in wing back. Maybe he doesn't persist with that now that James is injured, but we've seen before under Tuchel what Chilwell's capable of in wing back, so I would go Chilwell. Yeah, I don't disagree. 29 is the best bench boost week if everything goes perfectly, but that is an if. And it's not much better. Maybe like, according to FPL review anyway, 2 or 3 points max in my case. In my case, it was 2 points difference. Yeah, I'm making the steel change. I'll do that in a minute. I thought I'd just wait, just in case there's any last minute news. Anything that could change my plan, but I don't think that's going to happen. Smarter free hit now or a wildcard next? Got a decent team for this week. Why would you free hit now if you've got a decent team? I wouldn't use a chip now if you've got a good team. Akil says, sell Rashi to McAllister as I only have 3 double game week players. No, I wouldn't do that. Unless you plan to sell and then, wildcard in 29 or something. But you want Rashford for 29. So I wouldn't do that. Right, let's have a look at the most transferred players this week. Let's refresh this to see who's top. Tony's just moved ahead, actually. Tony's top, 836,000 transfers in. Matoma, 832. Estepinian, 500k. McAllister, me, Salah. Interesting people are bringing in Salah after his haul, I suppose. But, it's Bournemouth and then it's a blank, so depends on your chip strategy, I suppose. Gakpo, Darwin, don't know about that. Don't think I'll be bringing them in this week myself. Most transferred out. Odegaard top, 451,000. Mahrez second. Wait, what? Mahrez? Oh yeah, most transferred out. Nketiah, De Bruyne, Almiron, Share. Surprised by that. Andreas, Kane, Tarkowski, Mitrovic. Yeah, Odegaard's annoying. That illness. A bit of a question mark. We just don't know. There's not been anything that's come out of the press conferences because it's embargoed. May or may not play this week. We just don't know right now. I wonder if there's training photos out yet. Let me check on Getty. No, nothing. No training photos. Right, 20 or so minutes till the deadline. I'm going to make my transfer very soon. Sanchez to still bench boost active. Is March benched? I have no idea on the Brighton lineup, but I'd be surprised. De Zerbi said that he's in the squad, so he's the only real option they have to play down the right. So I imagine he's fine. I imagine he starts, yeah. I'm hoping so. He's my captain. I'm expecting him to. Captain March. What to do with Sanchez? So if you own Sanchez, this week, you only need to sell him, really, if you're bench boosting. It's kind of a wasted transfer otherwise. You just start your other keeper. Maybe you've got Raya. You can afford to wait and then just sell Sanchez in 29. If you didn't bench boost, who would you bench? This is who I'd bench. When I bench boost, I try to be honest about which players I would actually bench. And if I was not bench boosting, then this would be my bench. Maybe you can make the case for starting Still over Raya once I bring him in. Martinelli or Ødegaard to March. March or Mitoma. Based on the uncertainty on Ødegaard, whether he's still ill or not, I would say Ødegaard. But again, you have to be careful about Gameweek 28, because you're selling Ødegaard, who plays in 28, for someone who doubles now. So it's the same number of fixtures, you're just bringing one fixture forward and then they blank next. Obviously, if you're planning to free hit in 28, or you can field 11, or even wildcard, then that's fine. March or Mitoma. I prefer. Personally, I think March. It's very, very close. It's going to be one of those weeks where you have to expect points from the other ones. Like Mitoma could chip in with points, McAllister could, March could, all three could. There's nothing between them. There's nothing between them. March is the lowest owned, so I'm going for him. I'm chasing the upside. You know, imagine if Mitoma finishes the game with 5 or 6 points and March hits double-digit points. Then that's a really nice game, because March's ownership is so much lower. Obviously, it could go the other way, but that's where I'm at. When it's that close, I just chase the upside. Unless you're really high ranked, and then you can afford to just play safe, hedge your bets, and back the higher end player. You know, if I was top 1k or something, or top 10k or something like that, I'd probably just go Tony captain. Just go with the one that everyone's doing. Stephen Henderson says, on a wild card, Kepa and De Gea and or Raya. Yeah, I'd have Raya, and I'd probably have De Gea. If you have De Gea, you don't have Shaw, that's the thing. I'd probably have De Gea, because he... Yeah, I think I'd have De Gea, because he should double in 34 and 37. De Gea and Raya. The Lion said meow says, I just wanted to say thank you to Oscar for being so consistent and concise with the videos. Appreciate that, thank you. So many kind words today. Appreciate it. Thank you. Nasco Bar says, how are you 1.2 million? I've been taking your advice all year and I'm 143k. Yeah. It's been one of those seasons. I've never had one like this. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but FPL Review has this tool where it analyses your season and your decisions, and it measures where you'd actually be expected to be based on decisions you made. Because obviously, if you're making like good decisions or reasonable decisions and they go wrong, then that's just unlucky. Whereas, if I triple captain Zinchenko this week and it didn't come off, then that's a bad decision. And interestingly, FPL Review has me at minus 90 points on variance. So I've lost about 90 points to bad luck. Last season was the opposite. I gained something like 70 to good luck. I'd be happy to even break even, but it's just been like the most unbelievable season, to be honest with you. I don't think you could look at any of my game weeks this season and say, like, that was a terrible decision. What were you doing? But that's just FPL. You can make, like, good decisions and it goes wrong. That's just life. So it is what it is. But there was, as I was saying earlier, there was a good thread on Twitter the other day that said people need to look at advice rather than rank. And to my surprise, that has been the case. My channel's actually the fastest growing channel this season, and even like the last 30 days, despite my rank being absolute garbage. So that's cool. I didn't expect that. I thought it would have a really bad effect, but you know, I think you guys are like sensible. If the advice and content is good, then you look at it and think it's about that rather than like what ranks the guy, because everyone has a bad season at some point. It's my first bad season. So anyway, long answer to that question. Any leaks? Let's have a look. Don't think so. We've got 15 minutes till the deadline, so we might get something a bit closer. But what's this tweet? Match of the day tonight. Dead air. I wonder what's going to happen on match of the day. Maybe they'll just show clips and that's it. Oh, wrong graphic. That one. So this is the face behind the voice. I know, disappointing, right? Last game it broke me. It almost broke me. I'm still gobsmacked about what happened last week. It was just, it's been 90 years since, was it 90? Yeah, 92 years I think since Man United last lost 7-0. I mean, what can you do? No one saw that coming. Unbelievable game week. But just worse that he aligned with the wildcard as well, when many wildcarded. Start Maddison or Watkins? Watkins. Salah saved me last game week. I imagine he saved a lot of teams. I mean, I sold Salah and Trent and Darwin on my wildcard. I didn't expect them to get much from Man United. Like maybe a score 1, maybe 2. So that wasn't my thinking. Focal for match of the day. Don't know if I would do it, to be honest with you. Leanne had Salah. Well played. Please do a backflip. I can't do backflips. I could do this. Oh. How about that? That's really all I can offer. I can't do a backflip, sorry. Botman or Gabriel? Botman. Fraser says, would you take a risk starting Mahrez over Watkins, given that if Mahrez doesn't start, Watkins will come on, sending Mahrez in 28? I don't think I'd risk it. There is a chance he starts, but, you know, Pep said that Foden's back and available. I've got the update still, actually, on screen. I think I would just play it safe and go with Watkins, really. Because there's every chance, if Mahrez doesn't start, he comes off the bench. Personally, I would play it safer if that was me. I know Mahrez has more upside, but I would start Watkins. Thank you, David, for becoming a member. Almost missed that. Thank you, David, for the support. David Lakic, thank you for becoming an fplfocal member. I appreciate that. If anyone's interested in becoming a member, it's the join button below the stream, or there's links in the description. It supports the channel, and you get a little badge by your name. And there's a private channel on Discord for members, early access to videos, a few goodies sprinkled in with that as well. But yeah, it just supports the channel, so thank you for that. Appreciate you all tuning in as well. We've got 2,300 tuned in. I don't know why that shot up so much. Did someone just bin off their stream, or are you guys hoping for a leak? We might get a Liverpool leak close to the deadline, but don't get your hopes up. If we get anything, I'll let you guys know. I won't miss that if we do get anything. Salah or Haaland for the wild card? If I was on a wild card, I actually think I'd have neither. Which sounds crazy, and it's another week that could punish wildcarders, but I think I'd have neither. I did a wildcard video this week, actually. Who was in midfield? I think it was like Rashford, Matoma, McAllister, Saka, Ward-Prowse, I think. And then you sell Ward-Prowse in 29 for Fernandes. Because like Salah and Haaland, they've got a game this week and then they blank in 28, so it doesn't really make sense to me. I'd rather have someone who potentially even doubles now, or at least plays in 28. Captain poll. Alright, we'll do a final closing captain poll. Get your votes in. Who's your captain? I'm going to shuffle up the order of the captain poll again. So we'll go McAllister, Tony, Mitoma, and other. Thanks for the super chat, Oblivious. Hope you're well. He says start Botman over Kane or Haaland. No, I wouldn't bench either Kane or Haaland. Start Kane and Haaland, 100%. Yeah, you can't bench Kane or Haaland. Thank you, Bam Bang, for the super chat as well. Thank you for that. Appreciate the support. Joseph says it's Solly Day. I mean, it's his month as well. A lot of March captainers. Andreas is on Salah captain. Just refreshing. I'll keep an eye for any Liverpool leaks, just in case we get anything. Quite a few captain March. Ali's on Estepinian captain going differential. That's very differential. Hope it comes off for you. I don't hate it. Make your move. Oh, yeah, I need to make a move. I need to make my transfer. Almost forgot. That would have been bad. I need to tweet my team as well. Right. Sanchez out. I can't believe this is the most boring transfer I've ever made in FPL history. Sanchez out, stealing, confirmed transfers. Alright, let's get a screenshot of that. Stick it on Twitter. There it is. Gameweek 27. Sanchez. Oh. Sanchez to steal. Bench boost active. March captain. Right, there we go. I think we're good. Sanchez to steal, bench boost active, March captain, going for it. Boom. Oh, there we go. We were talking about FPL meets earlier. I did the graphic for this, actually. There's an end of season one. There might be another one before the end of the season, but they're in London. There's others in Manchester and all over the world. So FPL meets on Twitter. Definitely recommend those. Watch the football, chat with like-minded people, get drunk, talk FPL. Leak lineup says no surprises. Fair enough. So that's what we said earlier, to be honest. It was going to be... Where's he said that, though? Is that on Instagram? He's not said anything on Twitter. Matoma or Tony captain? Our spam bang. I think Tony's probably Tony is the more default pick. I'm chasing upside, so that's why I've gone for March, because I think there's not much between them. But you know, Tony, he's got a good away record. He's on penalties. Yeah, I'd go Tony between those two. But if you're chasing upside, then Matoma. And I've got March, so I'm really chasing the upside. Don't know where Leak Lineup said that, though, so maybe that's not true. Leeds will beat Brighton. Yeah, do you reckon? Why does your bench boost look so terrible? Thank you for that. Appreciate that. Looks alright to me, I think. Don't think it's that bad. The thing is, like, on the bench boost, you do bench single Gameweek players. Like, in Gameweek 29, you've got the likes of Zinchenko, Saka, Gabriel. I'd bench them in 29 as well. So in 29, it's still a single Gameweek bench. That's something to bear in mind. I know it's a bigger double Gameweek, but you still have single Gameweek players. So I'm still going to be benching single Gameweek players in 29. Obviously, I'd probably do something like Saka to Fernandes, so I'd have an extra one there. But you're still benching single Gameweek players. Don't get me wrong, though. As I've said all stream, the Gameweek 29 bench boost looks better if everything goes to plan. If everything goes to plan, then 29 is the better bench boost. Not by loads, but a bit better. I just thought I may as well wildcard and bench boost straight after, because it's a double game week as well. My bench is still good. Game week 29 is 3 weeks away. There's a lot that can happen over that time. Things change so fast in FPL. I mean, a day after I activated my bench boost, Sanchez lost his spot, so I was already like having to deal with that issue. 3 weeks from now, who knows? Tony could get 2 yellows and then he misses 2 matches with suspension. Tony could get his betting ban. There could be other problems. There's an international break. So that was my thinking. Obviously, it's a bit against the grain. Most people are just bench boosting 29, and I agree it's better if everything goes perfectly. Oh, it's in his Instagram story. Okay. No shocks. All decent FPL assets start. Okay, fine. So Trent and Robertson starts, Salah starts, Darwin starts, Gakpo starts. It's probably going to be same as last week. Robbo, Trent, Salah, Gakpo, Darwin all start. If McAllister hauls, Focal deletes FPL. I probably will. No, I only would if March and Matoma are blank. Especially March, and if McAllister hauls. Yeah, I did Sanchez to steal. Bench boost is active. March captain. I'm going for it. I've got nothing to lose. I've got absolutely nothing to lose. I'm having a bit of fun with captaincy. I'm going for the bench boost. A bit against the herd, against the grain. I know everyone's on bench boost 29, more or less. Not everyone, but let's see what happens. Obviously, it's not going to be ideal for you guys, but if Tony got that ban, for example, maybe if someone picked up a little issue over the break and they missed 29 and then they're back for 30, then all those little things would actually be quite handy for my team bench boosting now. But I know that would be bad for most of you. Sometimes you have to go against the herd. I don't think it's that crazy to bench boost now. FPL Flame says, we're in this together, Oscar. Is anyone else on the bench boost? In fact, let's poll that. I forgot about the captain poll. 51% Tony, 23% Matoma, 9% Mac, 17% other. Harry's going to raid? What, before the deadline? Or now? What's the question? When are you bench boosting? I'm actually curious if anyone else out there is bench boosting 27. Gameweek 29, other, or used it. I'll have an option called used it. There you go, get your votes in. When are you bench boosting? Gameweek 27, Gameweek 29, other, or used it already? Austin says, let's go Team March captainers. Let's go. Surely. It's his month. Raptor should be bench boosting as well. He should be, or he is. Harry cut his live stream short. Not feeling well. And his viewers over here. Oh, okay. I hope Harry had a good stream. I hope he's alright. Thank you everyone that has come over from Harry's stream. I'll message him after the stream wraps up. Hope Harry's alright. If you're here, Harry, I hope you're okay, mate. It could be worse. You could be my rank, Harry. You're having an outstanding season. But yeah, welcome Harry's viewers. That must have been why we had a nice bump in viewers earlier on. Imagine if March gets a red card. I'm deleting my team. I'm deleting my channel if that happens. You got me on the record now. Captain March red card. It would be par for the course this season. Rashford or Darwin? Rashford. Badiashile or White? White. Saka or White? Saka. David, thanks for the gifted membership as well. Who did I go to? Went to Adrian. Thanks for that, David. Appreciate the support, David Lakic. Or Lakic. Opinions on Watkins. Yeah, Watkins is good. Obviously, the appeal of Watkins is that he's got Bournemouth home in 28 when it's a blank game week. Kamara has picked up an injury, though. If he's out for 28, from reading up on Aston Villa fan opinions, he'll be a big miss. So that's one thing to bear in mind. I'll probably still bring him in. Maybe Iheanacho. I just love the look of this Leicester double. Palace and Villa. So I'd be tempted to get Iheanacho. He's been doing quite well since the restart. Do I bench Salah or Haaland? I would not bench either of those. But if you had to bench one of them, probably Haaland. 2 minutes till the deadline. Final reminder, guys. Make sure your bench is in the right order. Unless you're bench boosting. Your captaincy sorted. You made your transfers. You locked in. James is locked in playing Ferguson. Any Liverpool news? League lineup says as expected. So it'd be like Robbo starts, Trent starts, Salah starts, Darwin starts, Gakpo starts. Is my assumption based on that. They all start. No surprises. I guess Klopp's admitted or conceded that they're out of the Champions League. 5-2 down on aggregate. They do play on Wednesday. You know, if it was closer, I think this is a game he might have rotated him. But yeah, I think it's a stretch too far to score 3 unanswered against Madrid. So yeah, they'll be targeting top 4. What order do you think top 4 will come this season, guys? What order will top 4 be, and who makes top 4? I'll go Arsenal, City, Man United, Liverpool. What do you think? What's top 4 in order? Will Newcastle nip it ahead of Liverpool? Barcelona flashback incoming. City, United, Arsenal, Liverpool. You reckon Arsenal come 3rd, Vegard? Are you serious? That would be some serious capitulation. Brighton. You reckon Brighton make top 4? Kepa to steal on the bench boost. I would bench boost in 29 with Kepa. I think you're too late. I think that's the deadline. Time's up, pants down. Time's up, pants down. Sounds about right for me, the way my season's going. We are locked, says Daniel. Locked, says Benjamin. You think Spurs fumble top 4? I think so as well. I mean, did you see what Conte said about Richarlison? Richarlison was complaining like, it's not been a good season. My minutes haven't been good. And then Conte was like, yeah, he's right. It's not been a good season. He's not had a good season. Like throwing his own player under the bus. I don't know. If I was a Spurs fan, I'd be very worried. It's not a good season, is it? Again, well, no silverware this season, and you got like managers making statements like that. John says 1,000 likes right before you all go, because everyone's about to dip, and so am I. Hit like before you go. We're on 786, so that should comfortably blow past 1,000 if everyone hits it now. I hate to ask for likes and subscribers, but it helps the YouTube algorithm. It helps my channel. So if you have enjoyed the stream today, make sure you are subscribed to the channel as well. Interesting, by the way, on the bench boost poll results. 71% of bench boost in 29. Just 12% this week, 10% other, and 7% have used it. Is anyone live who we can raid or not? Let's have a quick look. Who should we raid? Davey? FPL Focus. We'll head over to FPL Focus's stream. How about that? Alright, we're going to head over to FPL Focus. People get me and him mixed up all the time, so show him some love, because he was the first one to register his username. I came afterwards with Focal, so people get me and him mixed up all the time. Head over there, spam Focal raid in the chat, tell him Focal sent you, send him my love. Hope you all have a good game week. Enjoy the weekend, and that's it from me. Focal out.